My name is Monica Melaria, and you're watching Music Unite.
Good evening, welcome to Music Unite. I'm here with two extraordinary fellows. You'll introduce yourselves.
I'm Hopeless Jack.
And I'm Smiling Pete.
I'm Hopeless Jack and the Handsome Devil.
Got a question for you. How did you guys get those personas?
Jack?
I got the name because of my luck with women. The girl I wanted to marry had other notions. The next girl I fell for died of cancer, and then the girl after that I moved to another country for, and she left me on the doorstep the day I got there. And so I had this like run of just horrible luck with women, and my friends started going, Jack, you're not a hopeless romantic, you're just hopeless, like that song. And it stuck, and my friends started calling me Hopeless Jack, and then my roommate at the time was a tattoo artist, and he said, why don't we just tattoo Hopeless on your knuckles so you'll never forget? And he did, and I've been Hopeless Jack ever since.
And it's fueled tons of songs, by the way.
Yeah, that's totally true.
As you would say, I think you don't choose your nicknames.
Yeah, no, Pete got his nickname
So.
because after about our first 10 shows, like, people started commenting, like, Peter, you look like you're having such a good time. You never stop smiling. And we started looking at all the pictures of him playing, and he's there, like, just his, like, classic smile. Always smiling while we're playing. And I think it's a testament to how much fun we have playing our music, so. You got Smiling Pete just because he won't stop grinning all the goddamn time.
And that transfixed into the Handsome Devil somehow?
Well, we were a three-piece, and our bassist took off, and we got the name The Handsome Devils just because they were two dapper-looking gentlemen on stage, and so.
We do like to dress up too.
I actually started out as a one-man band, and so it was just Hopeless Jack for about a year, and then I met Pete working at a bar, and he trained me, and the next day we were playing music, and that same day we decided to start a band.
So music, let's talk about that. Given your dashing, debonair appearance, one would assume that you guys are modern rockers. I kind of hear different.
Yeah, we're not. We're definitely not mainstream rock and roll. We are heavily influenced by old blues music, North Mississippi Hill Country blues and the Delta blues and the Chicago style blues. But I mean, I think both me and Peter grew up on punk rock, so there's definitely a lot of aggression and speed to the blues and soul that we're doing.
So how did young guys like yourselves fall into that old blues type of music that's kind of been forgotten?
That's better.
we know most people know that modern rock, I'm talking Beatles, even though it's older, came about from that Memphis sound, you know, Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters, stuff like that. Did you guys transgress back that way, or did you just jump into it?
Well, I think what happened is I was very much listening to punk rock in my early teens, and then I went back home to where my parents grew up, which is in this podunk town called Marysville, California, and I found all my grandpa's old records, and there were all these old country artists like Johnny Cash and Hank Williams and stuff like that, and so I started listening to a lot of country, and that led me back to the blues, where kind of country came from, and I started listening to the blues pretty much exclusively around the age of 18, and really got into the old bluesmen, Howlin' Wolf, you know, Muddy Waters, like all the Robert Johnson, Son House, and really fell in love with that, just that sorrow in the songs, and so that's kind of what I started to try and learn how to play, but I could never really shake off the angst and aggression that I learned, like listening to what molded my musical ideals, which was like early punk rock, like the Dead Kennedys and the Stooges and stuff like that.
I think with me and my drumming life, I've been a drummer my whole life, and I always thought like the progression was to go up, and that regression you were talking about. I remember when it hit me, I was listening to like the White Stripes' first album, and I just had this, I think both and I had a time in our lives where like, wait, you can do something like that? Like something so simple and so like toned down and still be awesome, and it just was, it started blowing out of the water like complicated, like like metal rhythms and stuff like that, and things that like just got out of hand and unattainable, and it was just good to like come back to something that that was just good.
Organic. And
So
exactly, yeah.
what I'm getting from you guys is you're actually feeling, you felt you were called by that music, and you felt the emotion and the message that they were trying to impart in the blues music, which is what it was. They were telling their life stories, and it has become the mainstay for most of rock and roll. And then over the course of the years, they've kind of lost it with over-processing stuff. And
Yeah.
we were talking earlier, this record you guys did it mostly live and raw, right?
Yeah, about I think 6 out of the 9 tracks on that record are first take.
Which is how they did it back in the day. They would
Oh, yeah,
pile the musicians in the studio, and
they only had a 1-track recorder,
Right.
so
Yeah, so that's how we did it. We mic'd everything up, got the level sounding good, and then went for it. And we did each song about 10 times, and it was funny because when we went back to listen to them, it was like, that was the first take. Let's just go with that one.
yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Let's go on.
So
And also we were talking about you guys had a emotional experience down south somewhere with some vintage music.
yeah,
Yeah.
Someone care to talk about that a little, or?
Oh, we went back to my old hometown, Memphis, and stopped by Sun Records Studios. I don't know what you call it. Sun
Yeah.
Records.
Peter had lived there, and he was telling me all these things about Memphis that, just like it is. It's a violent, rough, kind of dirty city. It's definitely lost its sheen, and I was like, I don't care, man. This is where everything that I love has come from, and so we like allocated a day just to go to Sun Records and walk through and take the tour, and it was actually pretty cool. If you're a touring musician and you're ever going through Memphis, you can take the tour for free if you give them a copy of your record.
Yeah, it's a good tip.
And so we took the tour, and
We would have gladly paid, by the way.
Yeah, totally.
But it was rad.
we got to buy souvenirs instead.
So is it magical going into
Oh,
Sun
yeah.
Studios? I mean,
Well, so the Sun Studios is a small building next door, but they took over it was like an orphanage or something.
No, it was a diner, man.
Was it? Oh no, the diner, but the upstairs was some sort of like, the building was old, and they turned it into a museum now. And inside of it, it's just the tour involves like going through the ages of Sun Records and its progression throughout its like history, and it was amazing. It was really amazing.
We get upstairs and we're like looking at all these old pictures and these old recording equipment, and we're in there and like the only 2 young dudes. Everyone else is like 60 or older, and like old men balding with fanny packs and like their wives with blue hair, like taking photographs of everything, and they started playing these songs, like the first recording of these guys, the first recording of these guys, and then giving a little history. And they got to this Howlin' Wolf record, the first track he cut. I can't remember the name of the song, but it came on the loudspeakers, and me and Pete both like looked at each other, like tears in our eyes, just like trying to hold it together, like 2 tattooed rockers in the midst of all these old people, and we're like the only ones that are even remotely emotionally affected by it. It was kind of a humbling experience, and then we got to go downstairs and like stand where Johnny Cash stood, and Ringo Starr they had the Ringo Starr kit set up. It was pretty.
We actually made a goal to record at least like a 7-inch.
Next time we go.
Yeah,
oh,
totally.
cool, very cool.
Yeah.
So I know what you guys were just saying, that you guys were the young tattooed Pierce guys there.
Yeah.
Are people off-put by you guys at first, expecting a certain kind of genre, and then are they turned around when they see you play and hear your music? Do you guys sway them over that way?
Yeah, I think we definitely get a lot of respect after we play, and I know especially at the very beginning of like us playing together, it was like we got comments like, "Oh, you're a real band, and you're not just some 2 kids joking around," and I mean just that how the response in our hometown, I think, is a really good testament to the fact that what we're doing works.
So a question for you guys. I know normally in progression of a musician's career, they end up producing or guiding other bands. Do you guys see that in your future at any time, trying to impart that message onto other bands? And
The bands that we know and that we're friends with are awesome bands on their own right. Bands like Sex Hawk and Alabama Black Snake and
The
Holy Children, Heaven Generation, like bands that we're friends with in Portland, I think really have their own things going for them. But I think the thing that's different about me and Pete is we're two of the hardest working people that we know.
We like to say we're the anti-rock and roll band.
Yeah.
We show up on time or early.
Yeah.
We don't do drugs.
And so we've booked a lot of shows and we've played a lot of shows. And now, I mean, we're 2 months into a 3-month tour. We have been a band for a year and a week and a half at this point. So
Killer. So where can we find you guys? Where can we pick up your music? Where can people see you playing?
We have a website. It's hopelessjack.com. From there, it connects to all of our Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. Like I said, we're touring right now. We're playing tomorrow night, which is going to be dated, but at
Low Spirits.
Low Spirits.
Do you guys have your shows listed on your website?
They are,
we're
yeah.
under the
Awesome.
tours tab right now. So
And we plan on coming back through here again. This is another hometown of mine, so
Great.
I'm excited to be back.
So again, this is James with Music Unite, and you guys are
Hopeless Jack and the Handsome Devil.
awesome. Check out their CD. Let the music unite us all.
Rock and roll.